I'm just going to start this video by saying I don't like Fortnite as much as the next guy, but it is undeniable that Fortnite has changed gaming, I think, for the better. Back when I was a little pre-pubescent, back in the ancient times of the 2000s, that is when I got into gaming. I'd like to say I was somewhere between 5 to like 7, around that range. The main impact that Fortnite had that I really want to talk about is something that I've rarely ever seen any other creators talk about. You hear people talk about how like Fortnite made gaming mainstream and it made esports mainstream and gave it a bigger, broader fucking audience, if you will. So many new creators got their start on Fortnite. It was a big thing. It was great. And you hear people talk about that, but surprisingly I never hear people talk about what Fortnite done for free games. Because if we revert back to when I was a pre-pubescent, free games were shit. They were just terrible. I'm just gonna put it out like that. They weren't good. Even in like the 2012s, 2013s, up until Fortnite became a thing, free games were shit. They were half-assed pieces of shit that no one cared about. I can't think of a single free game that people actually liked, other than Cool Matt's games because they were sick. The only free games that I can even think of would be demos. They used to be the only free game for a long time that were actually, you know, somewhat good because they were trials of an actual AAA title. Hop in, you get a feel for the game, you can have a blast. It was a lot of fun. It was still polished as well. But then all of a sudden Fortnite comes out. It's this free-to-play fucking national phenomenon that absolutely blew up the world. You had fucking content creators playing with Drake and other mainstream celebrities like Marshmello. Also, fun fact, Fortnite came out in 2017. That was 6 years ago, by the way. Hope you feel old now, because I sure as fuck did. And now we fast forward to today's age, and free games are not half-assed pieces of shit anymore. Like Apex Legends, for example. Apex Legends, a free-to-play game that came literally out of nowhere. No marketing, no nothing, no trailer, no warning it was going to come out. They just dropped it on the day. Who the fuck does that? And now it's one of the most played games, most popular games ever. Like, shit's crazy. You have Hyperscape. That was a pretty fucking good looking game all around, you know what I mean? Realm Royale. That was actually a really fun game as well, to be fair. The Darwin Project. Everyone always forgets about that game. Stop. That was a great game. Then you have games like Overwatch 2 coming out for free. Whereas you would have had to pay like 40 to at least 60 quid to play the first one. Companies have seen how well Fortnite did, how much money it's raking in and stuff because of, you know, the battle passes and the fucking item store and stuff like that. It's genius. It's honestly genius, you know? The big companies have realized that the best way they can make money is to give you a product for free, get you playing the game, keeping you intrigued in the game, and then they have like things like battle passes and cosmetics and stuff like that that you can buy. And 9 times out of 10, the more you play that game, the more likely you are to buy cosmetics. That's just how shit works. And people aren't going to buy cosmetics in a game they don't have access to. So of course you're more likely to play a free game, and you won't be going on with very critical glasses on because you didn't have to pay like a fucking $60 fucking price mark, you know? It changes the way you think about the game. So like you usually give it more of a chance considering the fact that it is free. Whereas if I pay 60 quid for a game and I start playing it and I realize I really don't enjoy this, it kind of ruins my day. So like nowadays free games are looked at so much differently than they were back when I was younger. Because I wouldn't have given a free to play game a time of day. Even if it's free, I wouldn't have given a single shit. I never cared about them. And a lot of people didn't either because they were just bad games. Because think about it, Fortnite wouldn't be shit if you had to pay 20 quid for it. I wouldn't have played it. No, it would be dead now. It wouldn't have anywhere close to the amount of players it has now if it was paid for, and that's just a fact. Same with Apex, same with all the other battle royales. You had to make them free. And over the time, they are going to make more money than like if you paid 40 quid for the game, realized it wasn't worth 40 quid and then just dropped it. So yeah, it definitely is like a money type of thing for businesses and stuff like that. But like compared to when I was younger, I didn't grow up with a rich family or anything like that. Like we weren't poor or like really bad off, but like we didn't have a lot of money to like spend 60 quid on games for me when I was younger, you know? There was way more important things that my family needed to pay for than getting me like a 60 quid game, you know? Which a lot of people are in the same boat as me. Like a lot of families are the same because it's fucking expensive for a video game. So like I was kind of restricted on the games I could play because I could only pick like one game every like month or something like that, if even. I'm not sure, I can't remember. But nowadays it makes me really happy now to know that like kids that were in the same scenario as me when I was younger actually have pretty good free to play games that they can choose from now. You don't need to have money to play video games anymore. And you know, it's 500 quid for a console and then it's 60 quid per game. or 1,000 quid for a fucking PC that could actually run stuff. So that's like my main takeaway from Fortnite doing real good, is like helping gaming to be way more accessible to people, you know? No matter what you think about Fortnite, you could literally go on, a kid could just download it and then they get their first introduction to playing video games. Yeah, it might be bad because they get fucking 90s cracked on them and, you know, the Burj Khalifa gets built in front of them in 2 seconds or some shit, but like they're still going to be playing games. And this next bit is going to be like a personal thing to me, but I feel like a lot of you would have shared my experiences in this. When I was younger, my first introduction to gaming was watching my older brother and my cousins playing World at War Zombies. I used to just like go up there whenever they came over, and I used to go up to his room and just sit there and watch them play. And from time to time, my older brother would give me the broken controller, which is something that all younger siblings know about, and he told me that I was playing the zombie, so I had to try and get them. All of a sudden, they died, they all went downstairs to get something to eat, and I was left with the actual playable controller. So I started playing, and that was my first ever time holding a controller, playing the game, and it was fucking great. I shit myself, don't get me wrong, but that in and of itself sparked my love for gaming. Just that one simple moment. And here I am today because of that moment, you know? Then we fast forward to 2017 when Fortnite came out. My younger cousin asked me if I could play with him because he didn't know how to play, he didn't know how to use the controller, all that stuff. It kind of feels like a full circle moment. I was passing on the baton to him, you know? And then they went on to make their own friends on PlayStation. And now they have their own little friend groups and stuff, just like I do. But now, we fast forward to today, and the cunts are better than me, and I don't like it. I don't like that whatsoever. Respect your elders. You're not allowed to be better than me at video games. I was first, okay? I was here first. But no matter your thoughts on the game, I personally do not enjoy it. I just don't like it at all anymore. But like, even then, I can even look at it and say that the game has done great things, you know? They've had like concerts, video game concerts, ladies and gents. Who the fuck does that? It has done so many good things for gaming as a whole. It has introduced a whole new generation of people to gaming. They were able to play with family members. Fathers were able to play with sons. Families were able to play together. It just brought people together. It brought me and my cousins together. I got to introduce them to the world of gaming and the fun and the joy that it could bring. It has inspired a whole new generation of content creators. It has pushed esports into the mainstream, you know, and that's not to say the games that came before didn't do anything to like push esports into the mainstream. I'm not saying that esports wasn't, you know, big before Fortnite came along. I'm just saying it got taken a lot more seriously. Like my dad, my 56, 57-year-old dad, heard about Booga winning $3 million in the Fortnite World Cup. What the fuck? He never once heard about FaZe Atlanta winning a fucking CSS or whatever the fuck they're called. He has never once heard of any of that. But Booga won 3 million and he knew about it straight away. Well, that's all I have to say about it. I just really wanted to hop on and talk about it because I didn't really hear people talking about that like free games situation. Like, yeah, most of the free games are battle royale games, don't get me wrong, I know that. But the past while, a lot of free games are coming out that aren't battle royale games. You have X Defiant coming out soon, which I'm pretty sure is free. Anywho, ladies and gents, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure to leave a like, make sure to subscribe. We're on the road to 500 subscribers at the moment. Comment down below what you thought of the video. Let me know what you thought, let me know what I could do better. Also, shout out to JRW. You said in your comment you wanted me to do some Easter eggs on Cold War with some people, so I'm going to try and see if any of my friends are up for it, and if they are, then I'll make it happen. If you want a shout out in my next video, make sure to comment down below, and I'll pick whichever one catches my eye. So folks, with that all said, it's been EXO. I'll talk to you all later.